that?
I don't take any supplements. Really, the human body doesn't need supplements. In fact, it doesn't need anything. The human body produces everything that it needs, it might ever need, internally. It manufactures it. You know, it's just a myth that we need to put something external into our bodies.
Okay then. So you hear from Brother Davis is your body produces everything what it needs internally. Yeah.
Well, I'll just say that one misconception. Okay, that when you eat food doesn't go inside you. Okay, doesn't go inside you.
Food doesn't go inside you.
Yeah. Okay. Now people are going to go, well, that's silly. You know, you eat an apple, the apple goes inside you. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But if you consider a donut, okay, think of a donut.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere you look at that donut, you're looking at the outside of the donut, right? Even when you look down a hole in the middle, you're still looking at the outside of the donut, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, imagine stretching that donut out into a long tube. When you look down the hole, you're still looking at the outside of the donut, right? Well, you put teeth on one side and a bottom hole on the other, that's you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Food doesn't go inside you, it goes through you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Never actually goes inside you.
It goes through you.
Goes through you.
Right.
Now, food has a stimulation effect. It doesn't have a nutritional effect. Yeah. It has a stimulation effect. Just like if you brush your skin against stinging nettles, the stinging nettles don't become part of you. Doesn't go inside you or anything. What happens is there's a chemical reaction on the surface of your skin, and all sorts of processes get kicked off inside your body.
Mm-hmm.
So your heart rate jumps up a little bit. Yeah, there's white blood cells produced. There's a histamine response. Your blood pressure goes up a little bit, and everything happens inside you to culminate in a welt that appears on the surface of or underneath your skin. Okay. That's just from a stimulation on the surface. Okay. So when you eat food, the food that you eat basically contacts modified skin cells in your digestive tract, which is still the outside of you. Yeah. And causes all sorts of processes to be kicked off internally.
Mm-hmm.
In exactly the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you and the next question most people come up with is why do people starve then? Well, some of it is a mental process. If you think that if you don't eat a lot, then you're going to wither away and die. Well, again, your mind and your body will find some way of making that happen. But the actual physical reason is that it's exactly the same way as if you're a heroin addict. Yeah, when you eat, when you get your body used to the fact that you're going to get food, yeah, and that food is going to stimulate processes in your body, well, your body's going to wait for that stimulation before it will cause those processes.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah,
and if you don't supply that stimulation, then those processes don't get kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same way as if you start taking heroin. Yeah, heroin will give you those feel-good hormones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it will stimulate your body to produce those feel-good hormones, and then your body, once you start getting used to that stimulation, your body will no longer be able to produce those feel-good hormones by themselves. So you're going to have to start taking more heroin just to feel normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so you end up on a cycle of taking more and more and more just to feel okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And once you get so really severely addicted, yeah, you get to the point where if you suddenly stop taking heroin, you'll die from something your body doesn't need.
Right. Okay, then that's interesting. That's very interesting. And in terms of your, I don't want to use the word diet because diet in the word diet is a word called die. So again, we have to use words was empowering. But in terms of what you have on a daily basis, I mean, what food do you eat, or what's your what kind of what do you eat? Don't use the word diet, but what's your
Okay, well, at this point, my diet is kind of changeable. I'm out of my usual routine. You know, I don't live up here in North London, so so I'm out of my usual routine. So my usual routine is a piece of fruit every day, and you know, on a good month, it'll be a piece of fruit every other day, and that's all I'd really need. But at this point, I'm staying with a family, and so I kind of eat socially. So, and they've been feeding me up a lot.
Yeah. Okay then.
But
so usually it's just.
But the point is, the real diet that I'd be on would be just fruit.
Just fruit, no veg.
No veg.
Why veg?
Well,
because I mean, one of the things I've been informed, been educated about that is important to eat a lot of veg. Like the veg is for really building the body, and the fruits are for cleansing. You know, so the veg. Yeah.
Well, first of all, again, your body does not need anything to build it. Yeah. A good example is this idea that you need protein to build muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, think about it. You know, the biggest, most muscular animals in the jungle don't eat meat. They don't eat protein.
Well, they eat greens. They eat greens.
Yeah. All right. A cow, which you know everyone will agree is a good source of protein. You know, the beef steak. Yeah. Well, a cow only eats grass, and there's no protein in grass. So where does the cow get its protein from to form protein in beef steaks? Yeah. Well, no, the cow internally manufactures the protein.
So there's no protein in greens.
In grass, there's no protein.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I'm talking about greens, we're talking about broccoli, celery, and these kind of things.
Okay. Again, you know, we're looking at the medical system here. You know, protein is just a made-up word. You know, people, you know, what a protein is, well, that's kind of a variable type of thing. They don't really know what they are, what they do. You know, it's just a word to describe a process, which, you know, may or may not happen. Yeah. The point is that your body produces everything that it needs internally. It does not need, you know, something that you go out and buy to build you up. Your body builds itself up. In my book, I give an example of a few experiments from the 1700s, where here's an example. Somebody had a colony of bacteria, okay, and measured the amount of iron that bacteria harboured. Yeah. So it was a fixed amount of bacteria, fixed amount of iron in that bacteria. So they sealed the bacteria in a glass bottle, so nothing could get in, and allowed that bacteria to multiply. And after a certain amount of time, they measured the amount of iron in that colony, and there was much more iron.
There was much more iron.
Yes. So nothing came into that glass container, yeah. But yet, as the colony multiplied, the amount of iron in that colony multiplied too. So literally, the colony wasn't getting iron from an external source; it was manufacturing iron. Yeah. So what I'm telling you is that your body manufactures everything it could possibly need. It's just we've been fooled into this idea that we need to buy products in order to supply ourselves with certain substances that we manufacture anyway.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's one conversation we need to talk about. The other thing about supplements. Do we need supplements? You know, and well, I'm not saying it because obviously we have to do more research, but I mean there's a lot of conning and exploitation, the whole thing about supplements, and we need to have this and that, and so forth. So I'm glad to see you brought it to the to the surface.
Well, the other thing about supplements, especially minerals, well, there are two types of minerals. There are organic minerals,
Right.
living minerals that that make up your bones and your your body basically. So, and there are inorganic minerals. So essentially, rock and dirt. Okay, the calcium in your bones is not the same as chalk, even though they're chemically the same. One of them has a different quality to it, which holds life in there. So, inorganic minerals, as I say, are rock and dirt. Organic minerals are living minerals that make you up. So, the supplements tend to be inorganic minerals, and your body doesn't know what to do with inorganic minerals. So those minerals end up being deposited around the body, and they cause problems.
Okay then. What we're gonna do now? We're gonna have a short break. Expecting a call from brother the Miracle Man. I'll be phoning in exactly less than 5 minutes. So, and also, okay. Before I do that, I want to let people know before I forget that Jammers will be at the Burning Ground doing a comedy show this Wednesday coming, 6:30. Don't know what you're doing this Wednesday. If you want to come, take in my friend, the comedy show at the Burning Ground, Dave. And yeah, so if you're interested, please let me know. Please, my number again is 0788-240-3871. So, Jammers, we're doing a comedy show. He'll be doing a set on him, or the Critters or himself. That's this Wednesday, the 4th of July, 6:30. So, if you're interested, please let me know. I will sort out complimentary ticket or etc. The number is 0788-240-3871. Repeat, 0788-240-3871.
Selassie is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Selassie is King of Kings and Lord of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. I rebuke all negativity. I rebuke all animosity. I rebuke all of the envy, and Jah shine his light on me. Say, I rebuke all of the hatred, and I rebuke all of the greed. I rebuke all negativity, and Jah shine his light on me. Just call me your friend. I'm a camel in the desert. I'm a lion in the field. I'm of the tribe of Judah. I'm a Nazarite for thee. I'm a peacemaker. I'm of justly character. I'm like as a dove, come to unite all with love. I'm a precious stone. I'm a precious gem. You can call me Jacint. You can call me your friend. Where there's love, you will find me. Where there's hate, don't remind me, because the tribe of Judah now resides in me. And I rebuke all negativity. I rebuke all animosity. I rebuke.
Greetings.
Greetings there. This is Colin here from Footprints Therapy.
Okay then, how you been? You good?
I'm very good, my brother. I'm blessed. And you?
Give thanks, man. Also, we have Dave inside the host as well. Dave's the got a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Okay.
The urine therapy and does all kind of stuff.
Brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's making
Awesome.
wallpaper headwear among us, and so forth. So listen, I want to go straight into the cheers because we have you down. I've never seen the flyer. The flyer is very, very good.
I haven't seen the flyer.
The flyer is good. I forget Dave to email it to you. or I have to email it to you. But the flyer looks very good, I must confess. So, how you getting on, man? That's the first thing. How's everything shaping up with you, man? Okay, look, you're really busy.
I'll tell you what, things have just kind of gone to another level. I'm so busy in what I'm doing and enabling people to get the treatments that I offer. I've just come off a live interview, I think a Facebook one. It's the first time I've done a live interview, and that was just amazing. Got a lot of response from people and commenting on what I was saying. So there's a lot of interest out there in what I offer as a holistic therapist. So you know, things have been like that. So social media and the radio, like we're doing now, is really my focus, just to let people know that I exist. So there's a big effort going on at the moment.
Okay,
so it's all good.
Well, just very quickly, just let people know, because you're known as the Miracle Man all over the country, probably all over the world. I know people from Spain start to look in you, and
Spain,
America,
Holland, Africa,
all over
America, Dubai.
So let people know what you're about, because you know people might be just listening for the very first time, and also the Miracle Man will be down here. Well, his name is Coleman, but people know him as the Miracle Man. He'll be here on the 8th of July.
Yes.
You know,
Monday the 8th.
Right. And again, he'll be doing some consultation and doing some physio and do some work and networking and so forth.
Yeah,
he'll be coming down from Wolverhampton. Yeah. So he'll be coming down from Wolverhampton. But let people know exactly what you're about. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, wonderful. Thank you for that, Brother Dougie.
Yeah.
But let me just start by saying, you know, Dougie, there is a group that exists, some finance group, World Finance Group, I can't remember the correct name, but they were saying that in 2020, which is 1.5 years from now, the bill for chronic pain will be 47 trillion. I don't know if that's pounds or dollars, but 47 trillion, whether it's pounds or dollars, is a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
So the spend for chronic pain will be 47 trillion. Now, my role as a holistic therapist is to provide medicine-free treatment at a snippet of the price, put it that way. You know, with 47 trillion pounds being spent on medicines and medical intervention, a lot of it is based around keeping people in the system, because 47 trillion pounds keeps the economy working. Okay, so I am a holistic therapist of 13 years, and what my speciality is to get people out of pain fast rather than keep you in the system. When people are told they have to live with pain, I prove that you don't have to live with pain. So if you've got carpal tunnel syndrome, I will get you out of pain straight away, rather than you having to have an operation and then wait for months to have it and then have wait for weeks for it to heal. I will do that for you in minutes. So that's my role, is to get people out of pain fast through using connective tissue release.
Okay then. And have you got a website or where people can contact you? Or yeah,
I do have a website. People can contact me on inquiries at footprinttherapy.info. Sorry, that's the email. Sorry, that's inquiries at footprinttherapy.info, or on the webpage www.footprinttherapy.info. Now the website is currently under construction because it's a new site. That's why I gave the email first. Of inquiries at footprinttherapy.info. But also as well, I can be found on Facebook on Footprints Therapy UK. That's Footprints Therapy UK on Facebook.
Okay.
And there's lots of information there that you can get advice and so forth, updates and videos on things I'm doing.
Okay then. I know Brother Dave want to ask a question. Dave, want to?
Yeah. Hi there. Can I ask what exactly is kinetic tissue release?
Okay, connective.
Oh, connective.
Okay, so and nice to speak to you there, because I've seen some of your videos on YouTube, and I'm taking quite an interest in what you're presenting, to be fair. So nice to speak to you.
Thanks very much.
Right, connective tissue, as you know, you probably know, we have our skin, which covers our whole body, and underneath the skin, we have another layer of tissue called connective tissue, right? And or fascia. It covers the whole body like a skin itself. There's no gaps in it. That material is quite light. You could describe it a little bit like, say, cellophane, how it's loose. Yeah, but what it does, it separates the skin from the muscle. But there's also connective tissue wrapped around our individual organs as well, keeping everything in its place.
Right.
But around the muscle itself, sometimes that connective tissue, which is loose, like cellophane, as I said, can become a little bit taut and tight under certain circumstances, and it can hold on to muscle, a little bit like cellophane, holding on to whatever you wrap it around. But it will restrict the movement of the muscle. It can restrict the movement of muscle. So if the muscle which you move in and out when you're expanding and contracting, then the connective tissue can wrap itself around it and stop that action from going on. And when that happens, it can draw the joints closer together, and then the joints, obviously you're going to get some aches and pains because the joints are drawn closer together. I don't know if that's explained it to you, but that's kind of how it is. But if you've ever seen connective tissue, you lift up a chicken skin if you eat meat, you might see that see-through membrane under this chicken skin.
I was just going to say
connective
that.
tissue.
I was just going to ask if that was the same thing. Yeah. So what sort of things does this actually help with?
I'm sorry?
What sort of things does this help with?
Oh, there's so many things. We're talking about chronic conditions, acute conditions, things like fibromyalgia, chronic myofascial pain syndrome, low back pains, carpal tunnel syndrome, tennis elbow, neck and shoulder pain, frozen shoulder pain, arthritis, headaches, sore knees and feet, even accidental trauma and joint pain and muscle aches, and obviously sports injuries and repetitive strain. So there's a whole host of things it can help with.
All right. Well, I thought that fibromyalgia was a kind of neurological illness. How does that work? Sorry.
Well, if you look at it like this, there's been a big debate about what fibromyalgia is. Yeah. Okay. And I don't think there's one agreement on what causes it. But yes, there's a neurological aspect to it. But at the same time, the connective tissue is definitely involved.
Okay, I won't argue with that. I mean, but because actually nobody really knows how these diseases actually work. So yeah. Yeah. I mean that specific condition of fibromyalgia. I'm not a specialist in it, but I understand it in some brief degree. But I know that when people are dehydrated, that fascia tissue can become quite taut around the muscle, a restricted movement, and if it restricts movement, it's going to restrict circulation. And if it restricts circulation, it's going to increase inflammation. And if it increases inflammation, your body's going to feel tired, lethargic, and in some pain at various times. Okay. So there's some. Yeah, I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah. So that's how I. But from the neurological point of view, I think you're probably more versed on that than myself.
Sure. I mean, I would approach the neurological side because most of these so-called neurological diseases tend to be heavy metal poisoning, and
right.
Yeah, I get rid of that with an addition to diet, which is coriander and chlorella, which is something that gets rid of toxic heavy metals.
All right, coriander and chlorella.
Yeah, so okay. You need both. Some people talk about coriander, but they forget the chlorella. Coriander removes heavy metals from the tissues, but tends to dump it in the bloodstream, and so sort of redistributes the heavy metals somewhere else. But the coriander somehow helps to take it out of the body through the liver.
The chlorella.
Chlorella, which is an algae that you can get at health food shops.
Okay. But milk thistle is very good for the cleansing the liver as well, isn't it?
Sorry, what?
Milk thistle. I haven't heard of milk thistle.
I guess so, but I don't. when I help people, there's only like 3 or 4 things that I would
Recommend
add to the what the body produces.
Okay then.
Because it's,
Can I ask a question, David? You know the 3 things that you've mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are what's the word I'm looking for? They help you to go to the toilet, basically.
What chlorella and coriander?
Yeah.
They're not. What you mean as
Diuretics.
laxatives? Diuretics or laxatives?
Well, I was going down the route of diuretics.
Okay.
So just
Well, they're not. As far as I know, they're not diuretic. As far as I know, not in nature. But I talk about urine therapy as well, and urine is a diuretic as well. So
yes.
I usually put. I usually give a holistic approach to any so-called disease, and it's not just urine. It's distilled water, fasting, and change of diet. And in that change of diet, if it has any kind of neurological component, I kind of add to that diet coriander and chlorella.
Right. Okay.
As I said, there's not very many things that I would add to to the diet, because that would just be, the diet I tell people to use is usually just fruit, but under certain circumstances I would add a couple of things, but there's not too many.
I think that's really excellent, because obviously, like you said, there's a lot of metals in the body and toxins that the body needs to get rid of. Mm-hmm. And what I find is that even though some people come to me with aches and pains,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the reason why they still hold on to those aches and pains can be because of lots of different reasons. One, it could be an emotional thing where they just hold on to that. It could be a spiritual thing where they hold on to it, or it could be an environmental thing like what we're talking about here, all the different metals and the pesticides and the things in the body. So when you're trying to heal a person, are you helping them? They're not actually being healed, because either they're holding on to something emotionally or spiritually, or like you said, the metals are in the system. So you can be having all your nutritional food. Somebody can say, well, look, I'm eating all my nutritional food now, and I'm exercising, and I'm doing all of this stuff, but I'm still not getting better.
Right.
But I think it's because of the metals that are still in the system. Until these things come out of your system, and you can flush them out, when you're giving a healing to someone, they're not going to be able to, say, for example, absorb nutrients from the food properly, because the body's already trying to get rid of metals, all the rubbish that's in there.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Well, yeah. Well, that's why basically my approach is again four things. Yeah. Number 1, stop poisoning yourself, and that's by changing your diet to an all fruit diet. Okay, because fruit is the easiest thing for the body to get rid of, because it's mostly water. Yeah. So it's mostly distilled water and the physical matter that doesn't take very much energy for the body to get rid of. So fruit is great.
So did you subscribe all fruit diet? Is that what you said? So I just wanted to hear you clearly.
Yep, that's what I
think. Okay.
Put people on. Yeah. The second thing is to remove the poison that's already in you, and that's a detox program using distilled water and urine therapy.
Right, okay.
Number 3 is to give your body the energy it needs to heal itself, and that's using fasting. And a lot of people don't understand what that is. Sorry?
I absolutely endorse the fasting, because it's a crucial for the body to be able to recognise that it needs change.
Well, from my point of view, it's fasting gives your body, or liberates energy for the body to use, because when you eat food, it literally takes 80% of your body's energy to get rid of that food, to digest it. Yeah, so most people, when they eat a massive meal at Christmas, they don't feel energized and ready to run a marathon. They're kind of like, ugh, I can't move.
The body's breaking that stuff down.
Yeah.
So you feel lethargic or tired, drop off to sleep.
Yeah, because now it's using something like 90% of the body's energy, and you haven't got any energy to get up and walk around. So So yeah, food literally takes energy from your body, doesn't give you any. So when
What do you think of the principle of I've heard people say, you know, that you must have known the saying, where it says, have breakfast like a king, have lunch like a prince, and have supper like a pauper. Just in reference to how the body works and the production of insulin that the body produces, because apparently the body produces enough insulin for 2.5 meals a day.
Okay, well, I would say to people to totally ignore this idea of insulin. Yeah, for just all these made up words that the medical establishment just throws at you. Forget them. Right. The practical point is that every time you eat food, your body has to expend an awful lot of energy to get rid of it. Yeah, it's not giving you any energy. So, so from a practical point of view, what you're saying, you know, eat very heavily in the morning, lighter in the afternoon, and very, very little at night is good practice, because when you go to sleep, yeah, your body uses that time when you're not using your energy, you know, in any other way, to do repair work and, you know, manufacture all the things it needs. And if you're digesting food overnight, then you're robbing the body of energy. But at the same time, you know, if you were to eat just one meal a day, yeah, a light meal of fruit, one meal a day, right, you're literally liberating lots and lots of energy that would be used to digest, you know, heavy meals throughout the day. And if you're having 3 meals a day, 3 square meals a day, then literally you're running on you know, 20% of your energy all day. That's it. Yeah. You know, it's barely enough to keep you moving around. So I would suggest, you know, forget this idea of you know, these fad ideas. Just, you know, eat as little as possible, right, and make whatever you eat fruit. And I know you, Dougie, you asked why not vegetables.
Yeah, I asked.
Yeah, that's a question I'm really itching to ask there.
No, I asked him that earlier on, so we're good to hear what you have to say as well.
Yeah.
Good,
yeah.
Okay, well, fruit is almost designed for us to eat. Okay, you know, not only is it off the ground so that most animals can't get to it, it's designed for us. But most fruit is mostly water. You know, watermelon, for instance, is something like 98 to 99% water. Yeah.
Yes.
And the physical matter that's left over is easy for the body to get rid of without expending energy. Now, root vegetables, are heavy, dense, earthy things, yeah, which most of them you have to cook so that they become digestible.
Or even heat them up slightly, like a carrot.
Yeah, well, you know what? If you have to cook something before you can actually digest it, that means you shouldn't be eating it. You know, because, you know, before we developed cooking, you know, we'd have to eat what we could actually eat. You know, you can't eat a potato. Yeah, you literally cannot eat a potato because it's poisonous. Yeah, that poison in a potato has to be cooked out. If you don't cook potato properly, you can get something called potato poisoning. Yeah.
See, my only qualm, if I could use that word, on that is, imagine, I just want you to I want you to go back 3,000 years, which isn't really very long in the grand scheme of things. And you look at, let's think about Britain as it was. I don't know what it was like then, right? But then when winter time come now, you have autumn and you have winter. There's certain foods you could have saved from summer and you could have stored them, like apples and, I don't know if England had pears, none of them come from.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But the food would have been quite limited, which would have only given people other options. Yeah, either, you know, then kill an animal, or they eat a vegetable, or, you know, I don't know what the options would have been. So what happens when people living in a physical environment where there are no trees, like, say, an Eskimo?
Okay. Well, again, all I can go by is what I'll give an example. What I've been told. When I did the breatharian experiment, I started meeting people who were really interested in what I was doing, and I met a guy who was a Zulu tribesman, apparently.
Yes.
And he told me that before the missionaries came,
Yes.
they would hardly eat anything. It was only when the missionaries came and they said, "Oh, you don't have any food here. Try this, try that, try all this stuff,"
Yes.
that they started eating regularly. Yeah?
Right.
Normally they wouldn't eat, and they would only eat for feast days and things.
Mhm.
And now, you know, the missionaries gave them food. They got used to the food, and then the food disappeared. And you know, now that they give you know, those people in Africa, so those famine places, they give them rice, which is poisonous to us.
Poisonous, full of arsenic.
Yes, and
Yeah.
so when they feed children with you know, those children with rice, well, their bellies extend, you know, distend.
Yeah, the starch.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's not that, you know, when you look at these starving kids in Africa with the big bellies,
It's a good point. Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Why would
yeah.
they have a big belly?
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's because they've been poisoned by rice.
Right, yeah.
You know,
I didn't thought
this,
about that.
this
Yeah.
aid.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think the picture that we've
So-
been given, yeah, of what it was like in the old days, yeah, is not accurate.
So what about things like peas? Like peas in a pod?
Okay, they come under legumes and pulses, and
Yeah.
they are actually worse for us than meat.
Really?
Yeah, there's a book, and it was the most amazing book that I've ever read. It changed my whole viewpoint on the human body.
Okay. Well, what was the book?
It's called Man's Higher Consciousness by
Oh,
Professor Hilton Hotema.
that was referred to me this week, actually.
Oh, really?
Man's higher conscious. Yeah. Man's
Yeah.
higher consciousness.
It took me 6 months to read that book because every paragraph I read, I had to shut the book and go, "Wow,
to
wow,
think
that
about
means,
it.
oh
Think about
gosh,
it.
yeah." Because, you know, so every paragraph I stopped and spent a week thinking about it. So yeah, if you can't find it, I mean, I've got it on my website. It's downloadable on my website as a PDF.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Okay.
And so yeah, that book tells you that we're all breatharian. We all really don't need to eat or drink. Okay, our body under perfect circumstances, which we, you know, in this society are way far away from.
Exactly. That's the thing. That's the reality.
Exactly. So under perfect circumstances, we do not need to eat or drink. Okay, but there's a scale. That as we fell down that scale, not only did our vitality and health start to decline a little bit, but our lifespan started to decline as well. So we started off as breatharian with a lifespan of thousands of years, yeah, or hundreds of years, and then we started drinking water, and our body had to adjust to that new, new reality.
I'm sorry. Are you saying we're not supposed to be drinking water?
Well,
Straight.
this is what Hilton Hotema says. Okay, he said that we started drinking water, and our body had to adapt to it, and urine is one of those adaptations. You know, if we drink too much water, then the kidneys have to get rid of the excess. You know, if we don't, if we have too much, more than we need, the kidneys have to now deal with it. Yeah. So we started drinking water. Our body had to adapt to it, and our vitality, as a result, sort of kind of declined a bit, and our lifespan declined a little bit. Then we started eating fruit, and same thing. Our body had to adjust to eating fruit, and again, our vitality and lifespan declined. Then we started eating the vegetables, and then all the way down to eating meat. And I added, in my book, I added 2 more levels. I added, was it burnt omnivore? So we started cooking our food, which when you cook food, it creates a substance called acrylamide, which is poisonous. It's carcinogenic.
Carcinogenic, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So our body responds to cooked food exactly the same way as it does when we poison ourselves. So, but the doctors, give it a fancy name, call it digestive leukocytosis, and so that's okay then. You know, that sort of poisoning is okay.
I just want to put things into context. What you said though, Dave, because you were talking about probably thousands of years where we was a breatharian. You're talking about
Breatharian, yeah.
Breatharian,
yeah,
a long time.
That's a long time, and that's why we was able to live probably hundreds of years. Yeah, and then we started drinking water, right? Where your body had to adjust now, and you said that because of that now our lifespan
shrunk to a few hundred years, perhaps.
Few hundred years, and then start cooking. Okay, then. I need to put in context because people are listening and they want to know what this man's saying. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
because I think, you know, that I'm trying to get my head around what you're saying, because obviously my school of thought is slightly different, and I'm not ignorant. And you know, man, I like to investigate new viewpoints to see where it's coming from and get to the root of that.
Yeah.
So I can't deny what you're saying, Brother David. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to look at what I understand, and I'm thinking, well, okay, I know the body, and you know, the brain is what, 80% part water, the body is 70% part water.
Yeah.
And the amounts of fruits you're going to have to need, the body gets rid of 2 liters of water every day. Now, does it only get rid of that 2 liters of water every day because we're drinking water? Or does it get rid of that 2 liters of water because it needs to get rid of waste in our body?
Right, well, your body gets rid of, you know, I didn't know it was actually 2 liters, but it gets rid of
water.
Because
we urinate, we perspire, we spit or whatever, we talk, and we get rid of water that way. So
right, well, when you urinate, it gets rid of the water that has been absorbed by the bloodstream. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not like you drink water and it goes through a tube and then comes out again. Yeah, it's literally only your urine is only dealing with the. Not that many people get stranded and lost at sea, but you know, you don't need. They've given you by television and films. They've given you a false reality of how your body works. Yeah, and given you ways that you can die, and you will literally die of ignorance. And this is literally where we are today. Most people die of ignorance.
I mean, I work in a hospital as well, and you know, I see all kind of patients come through the door. Obviously, people with cancer or people with arthritis, all kind of conditions you wouldn't believe, but you most likely know exist, right? But and then I mean, I take blood from people's arms, and sometimes the veins are so tight. You know, and you know, so it's either at chemotherapy and the veins have deteriorated, or the drug addicts and the veins deteriorated, or they're dehydrated and the veins are deteriorated. And I said to him, listen, you know, you think of your veins being like a grape. A grape is juicy and it's plump, but a raisin is a grape.
Yeah,
it's dehydrated and tight. Now, if your veins are dehydrated, your body cannot circulate liquid, including blood, oxygen, water, yeah? And then you're going to get conditions like, for example, I would say arthritis. I'll tell you why. Because the vital organs need water. Your eyes need water, your heart needs water, your lungs need water, the liver, you know, and the vital organs and other organs, if they can't get the water from ingesting it, whether it's from fruit or drinking it, you know, coconut water, or you blend out your cucumber and you have that H3O2 water, you know, the one that helps to give your joints a better lining. Without your body ingesting these things, you know, you're gonna become poorly. If your joints become inflamed, because the moisture needs to go to your vital organs, so your body will rub the joints of the moisture, it will rub your skin of the moisture, it will rub your doo-doo of moisture, right? Because it needs water.
Yep.
Yeah, and then what happens is, obviously, it's done all that. Your skin becomes dry, you get constipated, you get aching joints because of lack of that. So, I'm just trying to think about people who don't drink much water,
right,
as opposed to those who do. Because I've seen the change when people actually start to drink.
I
more. You know
I get what
you
you're
to
saying.
more.
I get what you're saying, but the thing you've not factored in is that most of the standard, well, I was going to say standard American diet, but the standard diet, is literally dehydrating, if you ignore the fact that things like crisps and biscuits and stuff, which are dry foods, which need to be hydrated to then be able to be passed out of the body. So
That's
the body
right,
has to supply water to those dry things so that it can get rid of it. So just by eating crisps, you're dehydrating yourself.
That's right. Yeah, true that.
When you eat acidic foods, right?
Yeah.
Well, your body is going to have to use water to basically flush that acid, and it also takes things like calcium and magnesium out of your bones and teeth and other places to try and get rid of that acid. Here's something you can try just to see, just to watch this effect in action. And now you might not feel this, but I feel it every time I do it. If you go and get yourself some Cadbury's chocolate, dairy milk, eat a 4 or 5 squares of it, and then just focus on your stomach and notice what happens.
It swells.
It swells, but it swells with water. You might feel like like a bloop bloop in your stomach where the water is. Your stomach is filling up with water because you've just poisoned yourself, and your body is like trying to flush that poison out. So it fills your stomach with water, right?
Yes.
And you'll notice it. So your lifestyle, your eating habits will, 9 times out of 10 dehydrate you.
Can I ask you a question on that? When you say your stomach, do you literally mean your stomach or your intestines?
Well, kind of both, really.
Yeah.
But mainly your stomach, because that's kind of ends up as the focal point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've ever read a book called Back to Eden by some European author named Jethro Close.
No, sorry.
Yeah, it's the first book on holistics I ever read back in 1970 something, 75 or something. And
what year you said?
No, I read the book in 75, but
75. Wait, yeah, go back in time, man.
yeah, man. I mean, I go wait. As a kid, I was just a kid. I was interested in the natural or the alternative. The certain foods I just didn't eat as a kid, and I wondered why I didn't want those foods, and I realized because they weren't good for me, right? Even as a child, you can say, eat your dinner. I'm saying I don't like it, man. I like egg. I'm gonna want meat. Just chew out the meat and spit the flavors. Chew out the meat and spit it out, right? So this food I wasn't eating. But the Jeffro Klaus said in his book, he's German, German guy, right? He said, if we're gonna eat fruit, he says, don't eat too many different kinds of fruits because the acid changes. And it makes it difficult for your body to break it down. It becomes something else. Is that right, David? If you mix up, if you have a fruit cocktail, it's literally what is a cocktail of different acids. Can that affect your body at all?
Well, the thing about fruit is it's alkalizing. Yeah, this guy has conflated this idea that like citrus fruits are acidic. But hasn't sort of connected the idea that they have an alkalizing effect on the body.
Yeah, like lime. Lime is quite alkaline.
And lemons as well. But this is the point. It might be acidic. When you test it with a man-made acidity thing, meter or pH strips or whatever. But to the body, it has an alkalizing effect.
Yeah.
So. If there is some kind of downside to mixing fruit, it is of a little consequence compared to the damage that anything else you might eat will have.
Right. Well, it's quite interesting. I mean, I'd love to hear your viewpoint because it creates a wonderful debate in people's minds, making people think. Well, actually, what am I doing? Am I doing right? Am I doing wrong? The people out there that think, people say you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. I just go do what I want because there's always a conflicting idea. But you know what I mean? But you have to have the conflicting idea.
Well, here's a difference to the way I approached all this. I don't go out and read what other people have written. Yeah, well, I didn't approach this by going out and looking at books and stuff. I experimented on my body. Yeah, I was very sick, and you know, I felt I needed to find out. So I tested everything on my body. I've done so many experiments on myself. You know, I did a 7-day sleep deprivation experiment.
With those sleep for 7 days?
It wasn't on purpose, though.
No, it was. It was on purpose. I stayed up for 7 days, and well, I found there was no effect. And I thought, well, maybe it's because I'm on urine therapy. So a few days later, I repeated the experiment, just without the urine therapy, and still after 7 days, no effect. So I want to do a 14-day experiment, but I haven't found 14 days that I'm not going to be doing anything to do it. But and since then, I found out that the record is 11 days.
11 days?
Yes, apparently. So if I ever get 2 weeks where I've got nothing to do, then I'm going to go for the record.
Right. Okay. Then.
It takes a special kind of mind, special kind of constitution to take up some of these. I mean, even if it's supposed to be naturally what we're supposed to be doing, you know, it's a revolutionary kind of mode, mindset you have to have if you want to change the whole of society to take up that stance.
Well, you know what, if you believe something, you know, you got to stand by it, you know. And if you know, I started to believe that the human body didn't need food, so that's why I thought, well, let's prove it, you know.
Yeah, that's quite interesting because I mean, but when you start to if we look at what's happening now, right now, and we look at the creator, who to me didn't make a mistake because he put every fruit, every vegetable on this planet here, you know what I mean? I don't think he made a mistake, really. But he didn't make a mistake, you know. So I think the key thing is it's about balance.
That's right.
It's definitely about balance and what works for you. Yeah. So wait, Dave, you're shaking your head and say.
Shaking my head.
It's true though, because some people have intolerances to specific things. The simplest of things you can think about, right? Some people are even allergic to rain. Do you understand? if water touch them skin, they start burn up.
See it.
Yeah.
So not everyone is the same. So it's difficult to say this is the pathway. What is only one way? You know what I mean? There's more than one way.
I'd kind of disagree with that. The human body works the same way. Yes, we have different toxic loads, we have different circumstances, so on. But the body works the same way, and the human body knows what it's doing. The human body is the only thing that will heal the human body. Nothing else.
Yeah, but if that's the case, then would you say that there's certain vegetables or certain plants we should take in? Because God, like I said, God didn't make a mistake. Because what you're saying,
man makes mistakes. Yeah.
No, hold on a second. Right? Remember you said that. Remember, because I asked you right about vegetables, and said we don't really need to take vegetables, right? Because if we understand, it says that your food should be a medicine, and the medicine should be a food.
Yes.
Yeah.
The man said that.
No. Think about it.
Of course, it's man to that.
Yeah. Think about it though, right? Right. Well, the man said that, but your food should be medicine, and the medicine should be a food.
Yes.
Right. So it's a
question of having sort out and identify which is your medicine.
Right.
Because if you don't, man, you know, we're inquisitive, you know, we want to learn, right? We don't have the knowledge. We're not born, all of us, innate to know it. Oh, we're gonna eat that and it's all good. Oh, we're not gonna eat that, it's all bad. Sometimes we experiment. Sometimes you eat something, kill you dead, and then say, oh no, but don't eat that food. The knowledge that we have today has been passed down through thousands of years, right? You know, we've been educated what to eat, what not to eat, what to touch, what not to touch, and yes, we do get conditioned, and have been we've been what's what I'm looking for? We have been misguided
Yeah.
by many
Yeah.
throughout time, right? But at the same time, we still have to have some common sense approaches. Like David was saying, certain things we will ingest to help the body, like chlorella and was it basil? You said, I don't remember what the
No, coriander and chlorella.
coriander. So coriander. These aren't fruits, but we'll ingest them in order for the body to function on a level.
Actually, not quite. Right. The
Not
thing
quite? Okay.
The thing about let's say herbs. People think you should eat certain herbs to heal certain things.
Yeah,
Right? Well, that kind of goes back to the allopathic method, which is what doctors, the medical establishment use. Yeah, the allopathic method is all about dealing with symptoms, not the cause. Yeah.
Yes.
So literally, and I use this analogy, it's like the engine warning light on your car going on, yeah, and you're taking the car to the garage, and the mechanic takes the bulb out. Okay, the symptom's gone, the symptom has been dealt with, yeah, but the problem's still there. But now you're not even aware of the problem anymore because the symptom's not there to tell you. Okay.
I agree with you. I agree 50 in one way, and then another way I don't agree with you.
Well,
Because
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, because obviously, there are certain things out there that deal with symptoms. Yeah, there's a plant you can take out there to calm you. Boil it and it calm your nerves, or boil it and it gets rid of your headache. Yes, it doesn't deal with the problem, the root problem. It deals with the symptom.
Yeah.
But then the root problem could be a physical manifestation. You know what I mean?
Right.
So then you need somebody who can do some hands-on approaches. But the point is, the plants are there to assist.
Yeah.
Right. Well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So without that knowledge of plants, herbs, you know what I mean, and fruit.
Okay.
Because to be honest here, when man was born, when the world was created, I mean, before people started eating fruit, how did you know that? Oh, go and eat that off the tree. That's to eat. And when everything else is around you, man might tell flowers and say, oh, maybe that figure eat. I'm not saying it was that ignorant and stupid. But what directed us to the plant? Was it to the fruit? Was it the smell? What was it? The color? I mean, maybe it was an innate thing. Like a fowl is born from its mother, gets a bit walk, immediately just knows how to do it. We were born, and it's your parents have to say, well, eat this food, yes, sir, or don't eat that food, yes, sir. But how did they know? Because people have had to learn that. You know what I mean?
Well,
so I think we've tried everything. The allopathic method. We've tried the fruit, the water, the meat. And which I don't agree with eating meat. I don't agree with it. But here's the truth: I do eat it occasionally. I'm not even going to lie. But I know that I shouldn't be doing it.
Right. Well, here's why dealing with the symptoms, with the herbs or whatever is wrong. Okay, because symptoms are not a problem, are not the problem. Symptoms are an indication, right, that the body is working on the problem. Okay, so let's say you take eucalyptus because you've got a cold and you've got streaming nose. Yeah.
Yeah.
So eucalyptus, what that will do is cause your mucus ducts to close up. Okay. And so you take some eucalyptus, your mucus ducts close up. Okay, your nose isn't streaming anymore. Great, wonderful. Yeah, but the problem is that mucus is being created to clear the body of something.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you start closing those ducts, well, yes, the symptom's gone, but you're now storing up problems for later. Yeah, and that's sorry.
I've heard that theory when it comes to cancer. That people say the body has so much waste, and when a tumor is active in the body, it's actually like imagine it being a suitcase, collecting all of the rubbish in your body that's trying to kill you. So sometimes people take away the tumor and think that's it. Take away the tumor, you're well now. But then what happens? Another tumor comes somewhere else, starts to mastate somewhere else. It's only because the waste is still in your body, and this pocket tumor is collecting all the rubbish that you still needed to have got rid of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't subscribe to that idea.
You don't? Okay.
No, not really.
All right.
Again, I was researching cancer, and you know, cancer is how cancer works is very well known. Actually, there are doctors. There are 4 doctors that have basically figured out what cancer is. You know, separately, and they've figured out sort of.
They say it's a fungus.
Well, that's an interpretation of what it is, which, you know, kind of from one point of view it's accurate, you know, but from another it's not. I say there were 4 doctors. There was a Dr. John Beard who in 1906 discovered that cancer cells are exactly identical to what they call trophoblasts, which are the cells in a woman's womb, the cells that prepare the womb for a baby. Yeah. So literally, these cells multiply very, very quickly, and in order to form the womb very quickly. So that's why you can actually one way of detecting if especially for a man, detecting if you've got cancer is if you take a pregnancy test. If that pregnancy test is comes out you're pregnant.
That mean you got cancer?
It means you've got cancer because it's like the same cells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've heard this before.
Yeah. So
okay. I never heard that. No.
Yeah. So he discovered that in 1906. There was a doctor called Dr. Otto Warburg in 1931 who got the Nobel Prize for Medicine for discovering that cancer requires an acidic body chemistry, and that acidic body chemistry, what it does is it prevents your cells from uptaking oxygen very well, and it's oxygen that kills any cells that, or anything that shouldn't be in the body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if your cells can't uptake oxygen, well, then these cells, like cancer cells, can proliferate. Okay.
So are we saying?
Do you think that?
Sorry. Just very quickly. Would you say that? So therefore, we said that the cancer is really a waste. It's waste in the body then.
No. Actually, cancer is a well designed.
Lock oxygen in the cells.
No.
Okay.
Cancer is a biological weapon. It's manufactured. It's a 4-part biological weapon, which is why 2 people can appear to do exactly the same things. One will get cancer and one won't. If you've got all 4 things in place, then you're going to get cancer. If you've got one of those missing, you're not going to get cancer. Okay.
So what does that mean in layman? What does that mean in layman terms? I don't really understand.
Well, I'll try and.
Dave, you want to sit over this side of Dave?
That's okay.
The voice is just.
Is it low? Okay.
Go on. Speak louder.
I was saying that Otto Warburg said it was acidic body chemistry and low oxygen. Okay.
That,
A guy called Dr. Ernst T. Krebs discovered that it was estrogen. That when you damage yourself, when you injure yourself in some way, the body sends estrogen to the site. Yeah, and somehow, and he didn't know how this worked. Somehow, when estrogen contacts, stem cells in an acidic body chemistry, the estrogen turns those stem cells into trophoblasts.
Right.
Yeah, and then you get cancer. Yeah. Okay. Somehow he didn't know.
Okay.
And I did a radio show when I was speaking about this, and I actually played a video from Dr. Bruce Lipton. Okay.
Yeah, I've heard Dr. Bruce Lipton.
Yeah, the biology of belief is one of his talks.
Okay. Okay. Go on.
So Dr. Bruce Lipton. Basically, one of the things he said, and this came to me years after I did this radio show. I listened to my radio show again, and actually listened to what Bruce Lipton said, and it dawned on me. Bruce Lipton says that in this electromagnetic soup that we're in, this harmful radio, all these radio waves that are harming us, Wi-Fi harms us, deck phones harm us, these radio towers are harming us, but they only harm us when we're stressed. If you're happy,
Why is that?
well, it's to do with stress hormones, yeah. So when we're in this electromagnetic soup and we're stressed, it actually the electromagnetic radiation can affect one particular hormone. It's estrogen, right? It literally affects estrogen, and that's what triggers this effect of turning stem cells into trophoblasts, right? So literally, you have to have a really bad diet, which makes your body acidic. Okay, you have to be in an electromagnetic soup, which we all are, you know, basically. Yeah. You have to injure yourself somehow with, say, cigarettes or alcohol or any number of things that we injure ourselves with. And when
as males have lots of estrogen in your diet because you eat soya, and which ends up giving you cancer as well.
Sure, but you know, it's usually the estrogen that the body pumps to the site to try and fix it. Yeah.
I see.
So so you injure yourself. Excuse me. And if you're stressed, which if you're watching television or you're you know, participating in this stressful life, then you know that kicks off the process.
It's chemical reaction, like electrical vibration, isn't it?
Yeah. So that means you can be a smoker, smoke 20.
And never get cancer.
Yeah, smoke 20 cigarettes a day, and you're happy. Yeah. And somebody smokes like 1 or 2 a day, and is stressed, then that person will get cancer, and the one will not. That's why it seems random.
I think it's a bit. I don't know if it's conclusive. It sounds a bit random, but not unrealistic.
Well, as I said, if you put together the research of all these doctors, it becomes very clear. And you know, the point of cancer as a biological weapon is that you can't detect it. You can't detect, you know, how it's weaponized. And that's the thing. If you don't know, if it's like it seems random. You know, 2 people will seem to do exactly the same thing, and one will get it and one won't. That seems very random, doesn't it? So you don't detect it. You don't detect the method behind it. But you know,
could I ask you a question? This question is kind of going off what we're talking about in a way, but I've just got this theory in my head, and I want to write a book, and basically it's based around rebirthing the human body. Yeah, and not what you know. There's a kind of statement in the Bible where it says, "Lord, do you expect me to go back into my mother's womb and be born again?" But not on that level. I'm talking about 1, fasting, right? 2, detoxing. 3, eating specific foods for a period of 9 months. The 9 months represents the gestational period. When the human body or the fetus is about to be born, sperm meets egg, and it starts to multiply in cells breaking up, multiplying. The first thing that's developed in the unborn child is the nerves, the spinal, not the spinal cord, but the nerves that run down the spine. That's the first thing that's developed, and then the second thing is the anus. Right. So I'm thinking, well, why are these 2 things the first things to be developed in a fetus? The nerves that run down from the spine and the anus. Yeah. And anyway, the point I'm making is that people say there are certain foods that represent the body. You might say, for example, some people like say, "Oh, you look at a carrot, it reminds you of an eye." You know, the iris of an eye. Or you might eat celery. It's like bones, and it's good for your bones. There's certain foods out there that resemble the human body. Yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, if the nerves are the first thing to be developed, what fruits even are out there that are good for the nervous system? Specific fruit. And then I'm thinking about it. Why is the anus the second thing because it's about the LSD is a very important thing. It's about what is going to come out of our bodies once we've developed. So it's about the important thing is what goes into our bodies, which is the point you're making. It's important to know what to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
then after you have the nerves, you have the anus, then you have the brain, and then things develop for different stuff. So you can eat specific foods according to the weeks it takes in gestational period for that body part to be developed. I'm thinking of people eating specific foods at a specific time, or to bring about the birth of that body part, if you know what I mean. So for 9 months you only eat specific foods that would technically rebirth the body. So at the end of the 9 months, you know, you should be at a very healthy level.
Right, but
I've just thrown that out there.
right, yeah. Well, essentially, that's what I say in my book. Actually, it's but not over 9 months or anything. But you do the 4 things that I was saying. I don't think I actually finished the 4 things, but the one you missed out was changing the way you think. So you know,
Well,
it's
yeah.
changing your diet. It's detoxing, it's fasting for energy, and it's changing the way you think. And if you do all those 4 things, literally, you will be reset to factory settings.
Well, I actually take it to another level, because that what you just said is my mantra. My mantra from all of my clients when they come to see me is, I'm going to help you to change the way you think about the things you feel. And I'm going to help you to change the way you feel about the things you think. Because at the end of the day, people, unless we have this ability to adapt and determine that, you know what, change is necessary, and perhaps the reason why we're in this position is because of our own thoughts, our own conditioning, our own seasoning, if you will. You know, we kind of have to be unseasoned and re-seasoned into a different way of thinking. But as a therapist, if you come to me, this is where I'm going to lead you down the path of helping to change, to make some change in your life. And you have one approach to health, David, and I have another approach. And I'm sure that you may be the left glove and I may be the right glove in this. You understand? Because, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not saying I've got all the answers, I'm not saying you have all the answers. But the truth is somewhere there in the middle. And what we have to do as humanists, I would say, is make sure that we're giving people something else to think about. You know?
Just hold a second, because there's someone just sent me a text. I want to read it out, yeah? Greeting, Brother Dougie. Just listen to your talk show, find it very interesting. I want to find out, in the past, I've been juicing greens, and I find my energy levels increase on a certain level. Can you please ask Dave, you have to read this. That was the text. Dave, just read from there, Dave.
Yeah, okay.
Can you see it?
Yeah. I was juicing greens and I found my energy levels increased. Can you please ask, if possible, both the brothers, if you don't want to go through urine therapy to heal the body, but use other alternatives, e.g. juicing greens instead, will juicing greens heal the body too? Thanks. H from Tottenham.
Okay then. Oh, then, give that. Well, that question probably might go directly for Dave, really, or even Colin.
Yeah, I think we should hand it over to David at the moment. I think, you know, David is the one, because I'm more the physical. If you've got a physical problem, I'm going to fix you. But I do have strong viewpoints on the questions that are asked as well. But I think David's probably on another qualifying level to perhaps answer that first. And
let Dave answer it further. Then you can answer. Well, if you want to make a comment, you can jump in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come through, Dave. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would say juicing greens isn't going to get you the 100% of the way. Yeah, juicing greens. Well, if you're cutting out all the other stuff, you know, all the meats and all the dairy and all the breads and all that, all this horrible stuff of modern life, yeah, then yes, you're going to start to heal. But juicing, I don't think is the way, because for one thing, we're talking vegetables, and as I say, vegetables are lower down on that scale. Okay, so you're taking in stuff, and your body is having to work hard to literally get rid of the vegetable matter, harder than it would do with fruit.
But hold on, but
Okay.
yeah.
So
Sorry, Colin. Right, but if you're going to get results, for example, because the objective really is to alkaline the body, so
Body.
Well, not just
yeah.
alkaline.
Yeah, but the greens is going to help to alkaline, because you want to go straight to your system straight away.
Sure.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, what I'm saying to you that, we say that you don't feel greens is not the right way. Well, I find it a bit strange, because the greens is going to help the alkaline.
I'm not saying it's not the right way. I'm
saying
saying it's not as efficient.
not efficient.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. So, Colin, you come in, Colin.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think I'm not sure where I'm going to go with the answer. Whatever comes to my mouth, please forgive me, 'cause I'm not sure what I'm going to say next. But I'm going to start from things like, say, lettuce now. A lettuce is a very light salad. It's a vegetable. It's a very light salad. The body can break that down quite easily. A cucumber, you don't have to cook a cucumber.
I'm addicted to cucumber, No.
Yeah,
I said
you don't have to cook.
I'm addicted to cucumber. Every day
You
I
are.
start juicing cucumber because it's easier,
But cucumber is what is it? H3O2, just like coconut, like a jelly, coconut jelly. It's H3O2. So these things are very good for your joints, especially like aching joints, right? I know that Dr. Sebi said no, don't eat cucumber because it gives you phlegm, right? So there's everybody's got a different viewpoint, man. That's the bottom line. I ain't subscribing to one person. I have no allegiance to anybody, right? But I do appreciate everything everyone says, and there's some truth in everything. Not just one in the simplest of places in the nick of time sometimes, right? But I do believe that juicing, to me, is an option. I think it's because it's easier to ingest that food. I don't know if I put it down on the lower levels of the dietary requirement, because it's what I'm used to. It's what I'm into at the moment. I'm into blending my vegetables, and even blend if I'm. Depends on what I'm going to blend. I might even put a planting in there and blend up the planting, sweeten it up, right? And I know it's going to give me a lot of energy. But the consequence of eating the greens, long term, to me, it's better than eating meat. It's better than eating lots of starchy food. You know what I mean? So it's the lesser of two evils, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think certain vegetables are good for us. And you can't eat certain vegetables raw.
Right.
Obviously. I keep going back to the carrot because it's just there, right? It's a simple vegetable. And there's many, 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 many vegetables you can eat raw.
Okay.
And don't do no harm at all.
The point is that
but you got to eat everything in proportion, I guess.
point is there aren't any simple vegetables, because most of the vegetables are hybrids and essentially genetically modified.
Yeah.
Also,
Because the original carrot was purple in colour,
purple, yes.
not orange, and it's been modified.
Yes.
Corn was a different colour.
Yep.
It's been modified.
All of it.
Do you know what I mean?
All of this food that we're eating now has been modified. A lot of it is actually harmful. Lettuce, for instance, has in its sap has a substance called lacturnum, which is a sedative. Yeah. Onions and garlic have a very powerful oil that attack our mucous membranes and a few other things, and thin our blood and things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Most of these vegetables have problems. Potato, as I said, is poisonous. Yeah. Tomato is poisonous.
Yeah.
But tomato is supposed to be good for the prostate.
Tomato was bred from a deadly nightshade
That's right,
plant. Yeah. So the vines of potato and tomato plants are poisonous to us. Yeah. So yes, okay, you might get some benefits, but you also get problems with these vegetables.
I know that people say if you cut an onion If you cut an onion, and people say if you're going to eat an onion, eat it straight away. Don't put it on and leave it, because the onion absorbs everything that's in the atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you consume it afterwards, then you're consuming everything that some people say if you got a cold, put an onion in a cut onion in a room, and by the time you wake up in the morning, it's cold gone, because what you've breathed out, the onion was absorb all that. I don't know if that's true. It's just something I've heard.
Yeah, it does absorb. It does absorb things, nasties. You know, you can put a slice of onion in the bottom of your shoe, and it'll absorb all the nasties through the bottom of your feet. Because, so yes, but you know, again, the most important there is the oil that it has. You know, that oil that makes you cry. You know, it's not just a funny trick or something. It's actually attacking the membranes that's causing you to cry.
Right.
Yeah?
That's right. Yeah.
So it's not a beneficial thing. Okay. There was one I was just had in my head and it's gone now. But
I think the reason why we eat things like onion, though, David, is, you see, we live in a society. You know, we have abundance of everything, and a lot of us are ignorant. So we have so many onions here. We chuck a lot of sliced onions on your salad, but really, I'm not saying you shouldn't have a little slice of onion, right? But don't consume a lot. It's all about proportion.
Right. Well, how much poison is good poison? You know.
Pardon?
How much poison is good poison?
Well, brethren, you know what? Thankfully, there's things that we can ingest that can get rid of that stuff.
Yeah, indeed. And
which you espoused at the beginning of the discussion. So you know, it's like being in the sun. Some people say you can't stand up in the sun. It's good for you to get your vitamin D as a black man, right? And it's good. You have to stand up 40 minutes, whereas a white man has to stand up there for 7 minutes. And then a white man stands for 7 minutes, and he gets his vitamin D within 7 minutes. A black man has to stand up in the sun for 40 minutes and get the vitamin D. But then some people, that's what I heard, right?
I'm sorry, that is an absolute lie. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, you know what? If you lack vitamin D, yeah, you get rickets. Yeah. Now, you know, I had no idea of what vitamin C is, and
vitamin D, you mean?
Vitamin D, sorry.
D3,
yeah.
The D3, not just this vitamin D.
Okay, but I had no idea of that, and you know, throughout my younger years, I'd you know, as a programmer and you know, these things that I'd be on a computer all day. Yeah, I never got sunshine. But I don't know any black people with rickets. Do you? You know, it's rubbish. You know, it's an idea that essentially the sun energizes our skin. Right, the sun harms the skin of other people.
So that's what I'm saying. The point I was making is about proportion. Okay, you can't stand up in the sun all day. You know what I mean? You have to have a little siesta. Otherwise, you know, there's going to be issues. You know, if you're in the Kalahari or wherever it might be, certain parts of Africa, you rub dirt over your face to make sure that the sun doesn't damage you. Right? You know, back in the day, right? So everything is about proportion. That's what I was trying to say with the food, whether it's onion or corn or whatever it is. We live in a society where people aren't just going to all totally change, but you have to say to them, listen, it's like having sugar. I don't like sugar in my tea, but I'd rather have 1 sugar than 3 sugars. Right? I'd rather give my child 1 sweet than make him eat a whole massive bar of chocolate. Right? Well, because there's consequences to everything. I'd rather you say, all right, here's a split, you smoke the spliff, or here's one pound of ganja, smoke the whole bag of ganja. Right? You know, there's proportion. You have the proportionality to everything. It's like sex. If you're gonna have sex, right? You know, I'm talking just broad because it's after 9 o'clock, right? Everything is in proportion. You can, when you're a youth, you can go forever and ever and ever. Maybe when you're old, you can still go forever and ever. But you know, you're gonna get tired. So you do it in a manageable way. Everything is in proportion. You know what I mean?
I think we need to change our thinking rather than, you know, say, oh, let's.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
that's what I'm trying to do.
Rather than saying let's do things in proportion, let's do things right instead. You know, instead of giving the child 1 sweet, give them fruit instead. You know, it's only a habit that we get to start eating, you know, sugary things. If you give them, if you establish a habit of eating fruit instead, right? They won't even want these sugary things.
I agree with you. I agree with you. So then, rather than say to your child, son or daughter, here is 10 oranges. Just eat them, come have 10 oranges. I said, look, eat one orange, something else later on. It's all about proportion, isn't it?
Well, the thing is with fruit, you can't really eat too much fruit, really.
You can't, because if you eat too much mangoes, you're going to run to the toilet every second.
Well, okay. You're talking about an effect of the fruit, but I'm talking about harmful effects. Yeah, you won't get harmful effects for eating too many oranges. Yeah, the only effects you might get is you'll end up weeing out more vitamin C than than you need. So no, you won't. With fruit, you can't really go wrong, really.
Yeah, but you wouldn't. Yeah, but you wouldn't eat until your belly are bust. Do you know what I mean? You'd eat proportionately.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but again, with children, say, I wouldn't give them a limit on the fruit they eat. Say, here's the fruit. If you want it, take it as much as you like. Yeah, children don't eat because they want to eat. They just want to stuff themselves. They have to be taught to do that.
Yeah.
And appetite comes from eating. That's one very important thing. Appetite comes from eating. Yeah, if you stop eating for any period of time, your appetite disappears. If you start eating, then that appetite comes back, and the more you eat, the more appetite you have.
I know there are people out there that do eat just one meal a day, and I've seen the consequence of them. They look totally healthy. I'm thinking, how did you achieve that? But it takes a certain level of discipline. Not everyone can achieve that.
Yeah, well, the key thing is discipline and habits, and you see, you have to know what you're doing as well. You have to know what you're doing as well, because there are some people who say they eat, well, they would agree with their live food, they eat pure live food, right? But if you look at them, they're not healthy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So again, you have to know what you're doing.
I would say
that's where I said it's important, and I think this kind of marries with what David was saying as well. There's so many chemicals and metals in our body, but until we can get this stuff out, you can eat as much healthy food as you want to eat, but it's not going to help you. You need to get that stuff out of your system. Because the body's already trying to manage. The liver works at 3 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get rid of all the waste. It's like a wonderful vacuum cleaner going around and vacuuming, trying to get rid of some of that waste. And what do we do in the morning? We wake up, and we put something in our mouth. It could be water, it could be a piece of fruit, it could be a dry piece of burnt toast, right? But the liver stops working immediately. Like, okay, Bridget, I'm trying to clean you up, and you put this thing back in my system. I can't cope. So you carry on, and 3 o'clock in the next morning, I'll start again. Do you know what I mean? So you really have to kind of get things out of your system to then put the right things in your system in order for the right things that are in your system now to work. You cannot put a new wine in a oil what was it? Wine flask, wine skin, because it will expand and burst. You have to change it up.
Well, I'll just say about discipline. That discipline, you only have to have it for 3 to 4, 5 days. That's it. If you can manage to be disciplined for 5 days at the most, right, then you've cracked it. Because after, as I said, appetite comes from eating. If you can stop the eating so much for 5 days, then your appetite disappears. It becomes easy.
You're definitely going to be on the right path. You just need to be in the right environment, around the right people.
Yeah, true.
So that you don't fall back into that habit. Because this is that it can take 21 days to make a habit, and 21 days to break the habit.
Well, again, what people say, what they say, is not necessarily true. As I said, according to what they say, if you don't have water for 3 days, you die. And I tried that, and I'm still here. I went 10 days. So what they say isn't necessarily true.
But I think. Go on. Sorry, Colin. Go.
Yeah, so yeah, man. People fast for longer periods than 3 days.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you have to kind of know how you're living. You can't say, right, I'm not gonna eat for 3 days, and I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna dig everybody's garden up. You're gonna mash up yourself, right? So you do things in proportion. Okay, you're gonna not eat for 3 days. You're not gonna drink for 3 days, but you must take things slower.
No, again, I disagree because.
You disagree?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry to be disagreeable.
Yeah, no. It's interesting.
No, now this is one of the things I was worried about when I did the 30-day urine fast. I felt all this extra energy, and about day 18, I wanted to test whether the energy that I was feeling was real energy and not just phantom energy.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Did you run a marathon?
No, on day 18, I scheduled a day of just hard physical labour. So I was building a geodesic dome, which is like 193 lengths of wood, 2x4s, yeah, like 1 metre each, you know, just over a metre length each. So I had to carry those about 300 or 400 yards out to a green, build this geodesic dome, spend like 2 or 3 hours crawling over it, making measurements and stuff, and then take the whole thing down and carry it all the way back in the house. And that took me all day to do. Yeah. And it was literally non-stop physical labour. Okay. At the end of the day, I was still buzzing, and I still had lots of energy. It wasn't phantom energy; it was real, you know, usable energy. And I was, you know, I felt great at the end of the day. And that was 18 days without eating anything.
So this, okay.
But we still have to be mindful, though, because you know, if we're gonna say to, because one thing I learned from experience that, I mean, because I was fasting, but I didn't know what I was doing. Right, but I was exercising and doing all kind of crazy thing, and I thought, yeah, I was Superman, everything, right? My mind was quite young at the time and had very little sense, yeah. But the price of that, though, right? That went for about 4 or 5 days, and then I was feeling a bit, you know, a bit dizzy and so forth, right? But somebody said to me, Dougie, you know, you shouldn't be, you should just rest, right? And I thought about it, and I said, well, you know what? She's right, you know what I mean, right? So, I mean, we just use a little bit of common sense and and we use word common sense. Just, you know, like now, think about what you're doing, because you could do certain things and you might think you're like Superman. Next thing you know, say you collapse and you.
There is something important that I haven't mentioned yet. Is when you do something like urine therapy and fasting at the same time. What you'll undoubtedly experience is, at first you'll see amazing benefits. You'll see something happen almost immediately that's like, whoa, that's, you know, wow, that's great, you know. But then very soon afterwards you'll hit what we call the healing crisis. Okay, so what that is when your body starts to dump toxins. Those toxins have to come out of your body somehow. And they'll come out through the path of least resistance. And that usually is some illness or ailment that you've been suffering with. Yeah, that's the path the toxins will take. So you might, you know, if if you're an asthmatic, you might get an asthma attack. Or you might, you know, get headaches and, you know, or weakness or sickness, nausea. Whatever it is, and I couldn't tell you what it would be because everybody's different.
Everyone's different.
Yeah.
Healing crisis is real.
Yes. But it's not, but this is the thing. It's not a bad thing.
Don't panic.
It's a good thing, right? It's because it's the process of toxins coming out of your body.
Yeah, but
and it only lasts about 3 to 5 days.
Yeah, but just
it's like going cold turkeys, and when you go cold, people go cold turkey on drugs. There's a reaction. There's a healing reaction.
Exactly.
Yeah, but to back that up, right? I don't even know the story with Dr. Sabi, because he went on a urine fast for about 21 days, I think, and I understand that. After about 4 or 5 days, he actually went blind, right? Went blind. It's on YouTube. Then after the fifth, sixth day, you can see like like a cat in the dark. You know what I mean, right? So, yeah, just to back up there, because Dr. Sabi's, yeah, talked about that. On his.
I cannot get my head at the moment. Like I said, I'm not ignorant, but I cannot get my head around the consumption of my own urine. I have seen people do it, and I know in survival mode, people said, "Listen, if you have to, you'll have to drink. You will drink it, and then you find out that there is benefit to it, right?" But right about now, my mindset, I need a revolutionary mindset to really get my head around that. I'm not saying it won't work.
I understand. Yeah, I've come across this attitude, almost every time I speak about it. But you've been programmed, like we all have, by the media, by the medical establishment, by television films, yeah, to stay away from it, and it's poisonous, and now wash your hands. That idea, yeah, it's there. That programming has been put in you for a reason, because up until 1940, the medical establishment used to prescribe urine therapy. Yeah, it was only in 1940 that the World Health Organization told doctors, dentists, and opticians not to prescribe it anymore because the pharmaceuticals were coming in. Yeah, so there's a subtle campaign to demonize this stuff. Yeah. Now I was just as squeamish as you are when I first weed in my glass. Yeah. And I was looking at it and I thought, it's actually still warm. I don't like that. So I put it in the fridge, and I thought, you know what? I don't think I can drink it as it is. So I'm going to mix it with grapefruit juice, because that's the strongest juice I can think of. Yeah. So
that's going to make it taste better. All right.
Yeah. So I thought, okay. So I mixed it, and I thought, actually, I can't taste it anymore. The grapefruit juice has done its work. Yeah. So for the first 2 weeks, I was drinking, put it in the fridge, then mixing with grapefruit juice.
Urine with grapefruit juice, you was drinking for 2 weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and that was great. I was doing it. Okay. So one day, I was working away at a hotel, and I got up in the morning, weed in my glass, and I was like, there's no fridge, and I don't have any grapefruit juice, and I can't go down to the lobby with a glass full of piss. So, so I thought, oh, sod it, I'm just going to neck it. So I just knocked it back, and I thought, hang on, it's not as bad as I thought it was. And literally, it isn't as bad as you think it is.
Nothing is ever as bad as if my first drink of whiskey was, I hated whiskey. I don't drink alcohol, by the way.
For good reason, yeah?
But I got used to that real quick.
Yeah.
And that wasn't good for me.
It's just the thing that's in your mind. It's this idea in your mind that it's dirty, it's poisonous, it's horrible. But once you get over that, and you can get over that by mixing it with a juice or something, yeah. If you're, but I tell people.
But it'd be Dave. Sorry, Colin. But it'd be wise for Dave to explain to why it's more healthy. Explain to him the way it goes through the liver. Because he probably don't understand the process.
Why would you do at the beginning?
No, you never told him. No, tell Colin.
Okay, did you hear the process?
No.
Okay, so the process is that your blood goes to your liver, and your liver screens out all the waste, all the toxins, viruses, pathogens, anything that shouldn't be in the blood. Yeah, gets taken out by the liver, goes through your bile duct into your poo, basically. Yeah, the purified.
But look into what? Into what?
Into your poo.
Okay.
Right. So the purified blood then goes to your kidneys, and your kidneys are there to keep your blood in balance. Yeah. So anything that's in excess in your blood, like water, if your blood's too watery, the excess water will be taken out and put in and stored in your bladder. So that's the same with the excess minerals, vitamins, enzymes, hormones.
So you're saying that because the kidneys, they have the billions of nephrons or filters.
Yes, exactly.
The water is filtered water. You can just drink it.
Well, no, what I'm saying
it's
is,
fine.
what I'm saying is the excess of that water is you know basically squeezed through these nephrons, and it's essentially distilled water, but it's not the same as distilled water because it's got all the
Not
other
distilled
stuff
water as we
inside.
know it.
Sorry.
Not distilled water as we know it. Generally,
No, it's distilled, but in a different distillation process through the nephrons. But the point is, it's also got other things in it. So, you know, you can't put your TDS meter in it and see zero. But the point is, your
Don't get me wrong. I think, and I'm glad I can think, because not everybody can think, you know. I think that it's true. If I don't know if I'm converted or I would convert, but I do know this: that if I had to survive and there's nothing else, I'm a drinker, yes, right? Just like, you know, I know when people were in slavery and there's nothing to eat, they'd even take up the grass with the cow, eat, and they needed something in them, even though the body's not designed to break down grass, right? As far as I'm aware. So for me, you'll do anything to survive. People, you know what I mean? People will eat people in order to survive. Like, you know, the plane crash that happened in the mountains some 30, 40 years ago, and the one survivor was there, and he ate somebody to survive. And they said, why do you eat that person? He said, well, in my mind, she's a nurse, therefore nurses are healthy, so she must be clean, so I started to eat her first. And it's crazy. You think, well, that's just crazy thinking, but in a survival mode, that's what he had to do. I'm not saying I would do that. I really don't know.
I definitely wouldn't do that.
But the... Pardon?
Sorry, no, carry on. I said I definitely wouldn't do that.
Okay, fair enough. But I'm just saying people go to certain extremes in order to survive, because the greatest thing in a man's mind or a woman's mind is to live, is to survive. You know, there's a guy who was in the Antarctic somewhere, and everybody on this fishing vessel had died, and because the boat got stuck in some ice, and this guy was so determined to live. He started to push that boat to the ice cracked, you know, and then push or pull, whatever it was, and until the boat was clear, because he wanted to survive, right? So our greatest will is to survive. So you'll do what you have to do to make it, and to me, that's the same as drinking urine.
Right. Well, you know what? I'm right at this moment. I'm in North London with a family that I've basically helped basically start urine therapy with.
Yes.
And now they got to the point where urine is so valuable that you know they're not producing enough of it. You know, because you know not only can you use it for yourself, you can use it for your plants. You know, you can use it. It's like literally the best fertilizer for plants. Yeah. And you know, people aren't producing enough of it, and like you end up at the point where you not regret. Well, that's not the word. You resent pissing it down the toilet because it's so valuable. Yeah. Seriously, if I was to sit with you for 15 minutes, you'd be drinking it tomorrow. Yeah. I've been
I really don't think
I've been drinking it for 7 years, well, nearly 8 years now. Yeah. Non-stop, almost non-stop. And this past 8 years has been the longest uninterrupted period of perfect health that I've ever had. Yeah. I get emails from people almost 2 or 3 a day saying, "Thank you, Dave, for forcing me to drink my piss."
Dave, can I ask you? There's people out there. I think I'm pointing fingers now in the Japanese community that say eating excrement is a healthy way to go.
Yeah, I don't.
Because what they do, they dry it out.
Eating what?
The doodle.
We are sir. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, check it out. Google it. Right, they dry it out, and they turn it into something to eat. Would you subscribe to that at all?
Absolutely not. I do not subscribe to. There's also another methodology which basically states to rebuild your gut flora is to eat a bit of somebody's crap, basically. But no. That is absolute waste. It's got no other purpose but waste. You know, that's and you can rebuild your gut flora with urine therapy. You know, it's the same thing. Well, not the same thing. It's
I'm saying things. I agree. I believe what you're saying. You know that it is not something that won't kill you, but probably help you. But you know, I'm a person like this. There's certain foods currently that I don't eat.
Mhm.
And I don't like sprouts, for example. But yet I will eat cabbage.
Yeah, that's well.
I'm not going to be drinking my urine.
Well, that's what I say to people actually, because
Yeah.
my mum used to try and make me eat Brussels sprouts, and you know, I'd be like, no, I don't like the taste; they're horrible. And
Yeah,
she'd say, they're good for you. Yeah, they're not going to kill you. They're going to help you. So stop whining and eat your sprouts. So
Yeah.
I tell people who are a bit squeamish.
Stop whining and drinking piss.
Exactly, exactly. Because it's the same
Get it
thing.
down, you mate.
It's the same thing, you know. Your urine is sterile, yeah, and that tells you right there. There's nothing wrong in it. There's nothing harmful in your urine.
Okay, so listen, Carl, I'm just conscious people are trying to phone in because people are
Yes.
texting on the other line. So please give us your details if people want to contact you and so forth.
Yes.
And let
Okay.
people know that you're down there every so often. So people need to book you in advance. If you're
That's right.
Yeah, please.
That's right. Well, first of all, I am at the Laurels Health Centre in St Anne's Road there in Tottenham on a Saturday. If people want to reach me and book for appointment, the places are limited, I'll be honest with you. So you need to call me and I can set an appointment and call me on. I'll give you the telephone number if you have a pen to the ready. My number is 07890 575597. So that's 079 so again 07890, I say it that way, 575597. Or you can contact me on Footprints Therapy. That's Footprints Therapy 1, the numeric 1, at gmail.com. That's Footprints Therapy 1 at gmail.com. My company is called Footprints Therapy, obviously. And I've got a wellbeing centre in Wolverhampton, and I'm at the Laurel Centre on Saturdays. It's going to be most Saturdays now because the demand is definitely increasing.
Okay then. Okay then, Colin, give thanks for the
Yes.
some serious reasoning.
Thank you for
You know what I
the
mean?
opportunity.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. It's been enlightening, and I'm glad we got this conversation with David because I saw his video. I think it was last week. It was the first time I saw it, and I thought, wow, I got to meet this brother. I want to see what he's coming from because he seemed to have something.
Yeah.
Right. So it's been a pleasure talking to him as well. So thank you both.
Yeah, and
Thank
try
you.
And I'll speak to you again soon.
and try not to call me David because that's I mean only my mum calls me that when I've done something wrong.
Is it Dave? Dave.
Yeah,
It's a David.
exactly.
Okay.
I get nervous when you say that.
All right, Dave.
All
I do
right,
apologize.
all right, big up yourself, man. Every time, fam.
Yeah, respect. Good
Yeah, man.
night, all.
Good
Yeah,
night.
good night.
All right, man.
One love.
One love.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay then. The live link, Dave. You want to read the live link number up there for us?
Okay, it's 079 444 31366.
One more time, Dave, just in case people.
Yeah, it's 079 444 31366.
Okay then. So I know that a couple people want to phone in and ask a question. They phone in on my other phone number, so phone in and do ask. Yeah, and since say that we do have the great man, Dave, with us. As you know that he have a wealth of information and knowledge, and it's really Dave is a versatile man. Greetings.
Greetings.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you turn your radio down, please?
Turn your radio down, please.
Greetings. Sir, can you please phone back, please, and when you do from, please turn the radio down, please, because we're getting a feedback. Yep. Greetings.
Greetings, Brother Duggie.
Yeah, greetings, my sister.
Hi. Somebody trying to call you. Should I call back? Let me listen to that person. I'll call back.
You want to call back? All right, then no problem then.
Yeah.
All right, then no problem.
Or should I continue?
All right, then continue. All right, continue.
Okay.
Continue, and then they will ring after. Go on.
Okay. Yeah, I've been listening, but not everything. First of all, let me talk about urine. Yeah. Urine therapy. I haven't done the therapy part of it, but a friend of mine introduced me and my son to urine about 2 months ago, getting to 3 months now, or 2.5 months, and it was hard to try it, but after a long thinking, and I gave it a try, and then I haven't seen anything like that in my entire life. You know what I mean? Like David said, if I drop my urine in a toilet, I feel sick. It's something that I don't even. I want to save it. You know, I want to start saving my urine because I heard that even if you save it for so long, very long time, you can dry it and turn it into something. I don't know what it is. It become like powder. But apart from that, I take my urine as much as I can take in one day. And as you're taking it, the same thing is in the morning is very, very like maybe bitter or funny. But after a while, it started changing. The color will start cleaning itself. I don't know what is that. You know what I mean? How it happened. But my son, the same thing. He can't do without it. He nearly gone into anxiety medication, but urine stopped that. And me, I used to be. I don't sleep. I don't have problem sleeping, but I'm always busy. And in the night, instead of me to go into bed, I started doing something in the night, and I said, oh, I'm going to bed, and I don't go to bed. You know what I mean? Sometimes I sleep like 3 hours, 2 hours, and I'm always constantly tired. You know, because when the guy introduced me to urine, I said, I'm not sick for anything. I'm not, touch wood, I'm a very healthy person. So how do I know if it's working? I said to him, the only problem I have is lack of tiredness, you know. He said to me, that it does that. And that's really what pushed me to give it a try to see if it does that. So right now, if I'm getting tired and I drink my urine, it's like a point, you wake me up and I don't feel tired. And before when I don't sleep enough, Dougie, when I don't sleep enough, after some time I start having like cold, horrible cold. You know, it starts with my throat. From there, I will have bad cold. My throat go, my eye, everything. So, but since urine, I started taking urine. I don't sleep enough, but I have so much energy. Tremendous energy. It's unbelievable. Even my son said, Mom, oh my God, what is this? How can this be working? I feel so much better, you know? So that's about it. I love urine for tomorrow. I swear. I just say to people, just give it a try. It won't kill you. If you're suffering from anything at all, give it a try. I have a friend now. She's in pain for her leg. I say, give it a try. She's a nurse. Nah, don't even talk about that. I'll never try it. I said, okay. You know, the thing is this, give it a try. It will not kill you. If somebody have taken it for, I've gone on YouTube, somebody have been taking it for how many years? Over, I think 10 years. Dave have been taking it for 7 years, and it's still strong. What is it? You know what I mean? It won't kill you. It just, if you don't like it, it stop. You know? That's the only thing. Anyway, that's about urine. Yeah? Can I talk about the other thing they were talking about?
What's that?
About, Dave was talking about eating fruits or eating vegetables, yeah?
Okay then, yeah.
Okay. All the time, what I heard before, eat more vegetables, yeah? the fruit is more sugar in there.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, I'm sorry. I'm going to go against you on this one.
Okay.
You know? Urine, yes, you're perfect and thing, but for me, for eating vegetables, I think that's one that don't have like a lot of sugar in it. Because a friend of mine went to buy this juicer, blend juice, vegetable, a lot of fruit. She started her sugar started going high. She had to slow it down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Vegetable, all I have seen, I have heard from many people, it's actually more better than a lot of fruit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
While I stop, let me. I'm really fed up about this. Let me tell you why. Yeah. I've stopped going to so many seminars. So many people telling you different things. You know what I mean? Don't eat this. Don't eat that. Don't eat meat. Listen. So many people I know that are up to 100 and something. They eat meat. And they eat vegetables. They eat They eat all those things. Even Chinese eat meat. Okay. Oh, don't eat. Only eat vegetables. Vegetables have disease as well, like all these things they put on it. And they're telling you to eat it raw. And when you eat it raw, you don't even cook it. They things go direct to your body. Okay. What I'm trying to say is that a friend of mine said, Lisa, why is it these homeopathic people, right? They go in the internet, they check everything, and when you have one, they can cure all diseases. They can cure you. When you have this, they have answer for it. When you have this, they have answer for it. When doctors go to the hospital, go and study for 7 good years, they only curing like one thing or another. Yeah? But many people, they will tell you, oh, okay, if you go and check out some fruit now, if you touch dandelion, they said you do this, you do that. You touch plantain, it's still the same thing he's telling you he's doing. You touch yarrow, I'm talking about like a plant, they're giving you the same thing, almost the same thing is curing. Do you get what I'm saying, Doggy? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Mm-hmm. I was listening to Dr. Leila Africa wife. Go and check it out. She said, breathe from your mouth. Breathing is better breathing from your mouth. And you know I started doing it. You know what happened to me? Doggy, do you know what happened to me?
What happened?
Are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening, yeah.
I started having teeth. Me no sick. I never sick apart from cold when I don't sleep. I started having teeth problem. And when I look into it, they said because if you breathe from your mouth, you can get that kind of pain in the mouth, in the teeth. And I have to reverse it. I start breathing. I'm not saying that I don't breathe from my nose, but mainly because when I breathe from my mouth, I cannot breathe. I get more. Do you understand? So I started breathing from my mouth, not knowing that you're not supposed to breathe from your mouth, unless if you're swimming or something like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So too many, don't eat this, don't eat that. You know what I want them to do? Let them stop eating meat and let the meat become a bit cheaper. But it's still going higher and higher. Mm-hmm. Even the red meat is expensive. You can't even afford it. You know? The only thing I believe is that you eat more if not, my neighbor lost so much weight. You know what she does, right, Dougie?
What?
She said, in a plate like this, you actually, you separate, you put meat, you put vegetables, you put like maybe potato or rice. But you should eat meat first. Eat vegetable after. Then you won't be able to eat too much of this rice and potato. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, yeah.
And if you see how skinny she is, there's an American guy that lost weight with he was in Oprah, lost weight with a turkey sandwich. The only thing that really, okay, if you tell somebody not to eat and they become anorexic, do you know if you stop eating for a while, your mouth will be numb. You might not even want, that's another illness. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. I'm not going against what they're saying, you know, that's his own opinion and the guy that called, yeah? Many of them that are telling me don't eat meat, don't eat this. I believe in vegetables and green. It gives me energy as well. When I go outside and I'm a foraging person. If I go and get like the grass and dandelion and all those. I blend them like somebody shows on your show, Brother Ash, and I drink it. If you could get that into your system, but if you say, don't eat meat, don't eat this, don't eat this, what do people eat then? It's not possible. Even, the fruit, okay, Dave said to me, we should eat more melon. Yeah, I want him to explain that later. Eat more melon, that vegetables, I don't quite understand what he mean by that. Vegetable, grass and things have life. They have life or something like that. Maybe he needs to explain it when I finish talking and listen. What he said is got life.
Okay.
Doesn't melon have life too?
Okay.
You shouldn't eat nothing at all. You know what I mean? I'm not. It's the way I speak, though. Maybe I'm going too fast.
All right. Well, let Dave.
Let Dave come in, man. Dave, man, you telling me not to eat this, don't eat that, don't eat this. This is too much. I need. Urine is perfect. I swear. I don't care. I still drink my beer occasionally, and I still drink my urine. Urine is something that I have never seen anything like that in my life. I still eat my meat. I can't even afford the red meat. If I can afford it, that's what I'll be eating more. So, you know what I mean? I'm Nigerian. We eat assorted meat. You know what I mean? Tomato, everything together. And the only thing I believe is they don't eat too much carbohydrate. Like if you eat a lot of potatoes and a lot of rice, if you eat more of it, it kind of pull you down. Then when you eat vegetables, it lifts. I don't know. Anyway, that's my own opinion.
Okay, let Dave.
Don't eat that.
All right, let
getting
Dave.
Out of hand to me.
All right, let Dave explain exactly. Was it you want him to?
Yeah, David.
Okay. Well, I think I've been pretty simple about what I was saying about what you should eat, and it's fruit. And I never said you shouldn't eat melon. I said
No, you say we should eat melon more.
Yeah, I said
we should eat berries. Yeah, we should eat berries more.
Yeah.
We shouldn't eat vegetables more than But the berries, don't they have life like grass?
I don't understand what you're saying. What they should have life. I'm saying that fruit is the best thing you can be eating. It's a scale. Yeah, fruit is the best. Then you get down to vegetables and legumes and pulses, and then you go down to meat. And I think it's the other way around. Actually, I think legumes and pulses are worse than meat. But it's a scale. And if you want to, you can eat meat if you like, and you'll be lower down on that scale, and you'll have to work harder to get healthy. If you eat vegetables, well, you're further up the scale, but still you're going to have to work some to get healthy. Right? If you eat fruit, that's the best thing you can be eating. Yeah, it's mostly water. Yeah, and the body deals with water very well, and the actual physical matter is so slight. There's not much of it there, and it's of a type that the body can get rid of very easily without expending lots of energy. That's it.
Yeah, but can I say something?
Yeah, come through. Yeah.
Yeah, what you mean? I should eat. You didn't say. You said we should eat more, like melon, berries.
Yeah.
You can't eat all that just for. It's like water.
Yeah.
They're like water.
Yes.
Do you understand?
So.
So, but
what do you think? What do you think you need?
Okay, for example, David, athletic people, can they eat only that and be doing what they're doing?
Absolutely.
People that go on a farm to work, do the hard work, and the people that building work, can they eat only that to survive?
Well,
to have energy?
Well, I just said earlier on that I actually did like the 30-day urine fast where I wasn't eating anything, and on day 18 I made sure I was working all day, very hard labour, and I had plenty of energy. Now, one of the people I helped was a long distance runner, and she had some problems, And one of the things I told her was to fast, and she said the same thing as you. How can I do that if I'm running races? I need that energy. You know, I can't fast. There's no way I can do that. So I eventually forced her, well, not forced her, but I convinced her to fast just before you know, one of her races, just as an experiment for her to see what I'm talking about. So she reluctantly did so. She fasted before one of her races, and she ran the fastest race she'd ever run. That was the email she sent back to me afterwards. So yeah, your body doesn't work the way you've been told it works, and most of the things that you do and you think are real are just habit. And if you break the habit, you find that actually it wasn't there in the first place. It wasn't real in the first place.
Okay. What do you think about that? What do you think about anorexic people? People, I don't say it well. How do you say it? Anorexic? Anorexic or something.
Yeah,
Like
anorexic,
okay.
yeah.
What do you say? Don't you know if they don't, why they become like that? Because they don't eat. And once you don't eat that long, they could become, they don't even want to eat anything. That's another illness, isn't it?
You'll find that anorexia and bulimia are actual mental problems. They're not. It's not to do with like a dietary problem. It's this idea that no matter how thin you are, you're too fat. And you're telling your body you're too fat. You can't, you know, and it doesn't matter how thin they actually physically get. They absolutely convinced they're too fat, and they're essentially telling their body, right, you've got to dump weight. You've got to dump weight. You've got to dump weight. That's it. Literally, it's a psychological problem. You change the way.
No, okay, it's true, but they started like that, not to eat, and their mouth don't want to put anything in their mouth anymore. They don't feel like eating anything.
No,
because some of them.
Let me just correct you there. They do feel like eating, and especially bulimics. Yeah, they eat, but they throw it up on straight away.
Yeah, they do. But some of them, okay. Anyway, my own opinion is that, David, I love the urine therapy, everything. You know, you're still good in what you do. I'm not doubting it. Fruits is good, vegetable is good, but everything is balanced. Everyone telling us not to eat this. The other person, Dr. Lela Africa, the one that what's his name? Don't eat carrots. Don't eat spinach. Dr. Sabi, don't eat spinach. Don't eat carrots. Don't eat what? I mean, years ago in Africa, people eat all those things and they're still strong.
At the end of
it's
the
only
day,
now they put in a lot of things in the food. Do you understand?
At the end of the day, Liz, at the end of the day, right, you're free to eat whatever you want. I'm not. All I'm going to do is suggest things to you, right? But it's up to you. You know, I'm not.
No. Of course, it's the end of the day. But if I don't have my own mindset, I will go and okay. For example, there's a time I went to a place in they do meditation, and they tell us not to eat onion and garlic. Huh. And I said, onion and garlic without onion to make the stew is hard. Then I stopped eating onion and garlic. You know what I mean? After a while, I said, excuse me. And I went back to fully with my onion and garlic. And the other person will say to you, you eat more onion, it will cure your cold. You see what I'm saying? The other person will say, eat a lot of garlic. And these people telling me not to eat onion and garlic, which I listened to. But after a while, I started using leek instead of onion. You know, but after a while, I have to go back to my onion and garlic to use it to cook. You see? Another time, I saw a program. A woman was doing is an American lady. I think actually I got the CD from library. He's saying that onion. When she went to Chinese shop, she pointed onion and garlic. They're not actually as good as you think they are. You understand?
They're not.
Huh?
They're not. Garlic.
Okay.
Garlic will thin your blood. It will affect your blood and make it thin. Yeah, they use garlic. Well, one way to stop blood clots is to use garlic. Back in the old days, French archers used to dip their arrows in garlic, so that if an arrow just, you know, cut the flesh, so if it wasn't a direct hit, yeah, that wound would become septic. Right? That was a way of poisoning people. Yeah. So, you know, garlic isn't good for you. Yeah. They use it as you know, as a way to get rid of the symptom of a blood clot. Yeah. But again, having your blood thin isn't the best course of action for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. In that case, it's always, you're right in that sense, because when I saw that video, that was years ago, I listened to it, and I listened to it, but I didn't do what they said, because I don't eat garlic or onion like that too much, unless when I'm using it to cook or a little bit of it in a salad. So when I went to that place, they do, is it Kamala? I don't know, they're in West London, they do medication. It's Indian, that a lot of people go there, and they don't believe in, they cook, they're vegetarian people, they cook without onion and garlic. Then I adopted it because I saw it before. So a friend of mine that come to swimming with me, and I said to her, you eat too much garlic. You should stop eating. Oh, I don't care. It's good for me. I have to eat it. I said, okay. Another person I saw that eat too much garlic, and I told him, he didn't listen. So after a while, she stopped smelling garlic. And I said, hey, Muna, you're not smelling garlic. Oh, Elizabeth, I was having internal bleed. That's why the doctor stopped me eating, but I'm still eating a little bit. I'm just saying that maybe they're right in that sense, but not vegetables, you know, not like green peas, you know, beans.
Okay.
I thought those things is mainly what vegetarian people eat.
Right.
That gives them the meat sauce, this thing.
As I said,
and you're telling people not to eat it. You know what I mean?
As I said, Liz.
I'm not saying it's by force. You're not forcing people. Don't get me wrong.
No. And as I said,
you're just saying from your heart what
you're free to eat what you want. But what I'm saying is that for the last 5 years now, I've been helping people, and I've seen results with fruit. I've seen lesser results when people eat fruit and vegetables. I've seen even lesser results when they eat vegetables. Yeah, so, you know, you're free to do whatever you want and believe whatever you want, but I know what
David, how's someone going to survive, yeah, with just that type of food?
Easily.
Only fruit.
Easily. Yeah.
You might be in a country that you don't get that kind of amount, and it costs money. It costs a lot of money, too.
Most animals, right, only eat one thing in their whole lives, yeah? Pandas only eat bamboo shoots. Koala bears only eat eucalyptus leaves. Yeah. Well, why do we think that we need this huge variety of things to eat? Yeah. That most animals only eat one thing.
Okay. What I want to do, Liz, I just want to
anyway,
put a pin.
Let people call. I'll call back if I have to.
Dave's he wants to make a move very shortly now. Still. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll speak to you in a second. Yeah. All right. No problem.
All right then. Right.
One love.
Let me listen in.
Okay, then this will be the last call. So anybody want to phone in, feel free to phone in the last call, because Dave's going to make a move very shortly. Yeah. At the same time, I'm going to play. Okay, then.
Selassie is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Selassie is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. I rebuke all negativity. I rebuke all animosity. I rebuke all of the envy. And Jah shine his light on me. Say, I rebuke all of the hatred, and I rebuke all of the greed. I rebuke all negativity, and Jah shine his light on me. Just call me your friend. I'm a camel in the desert. I'm a lion in the field. I'm of the tribe of Judah. I'm a Nazarite for thee. I'm a peacemaker. I'm of justly character. I'm like as a dove, come to unite all with love. I'm a precious stone. I'm a precious gem. You can call me Jacint. You can call me your friend. Where there's love, you will find me. Where there's hate, don't remind me, because the tribe of Judah now resides in me. And I rebuke all negativity. I rebuke all animosity. I rebuke all of the envy. And Jah shine his light on me. Say, I rebuke all of the hatred. I rebuke all of the greed. Say, I rebuke all negativity. And Jah shine his light on me, yeah. I'm a Nazarite for thee. I'm a Nazarite for thee. I'm a Nazarite for thee.
Blessed love. Brother Duggie.
How you keeping? You good?
My roots.
Yeah, man. Greetings in the name of the Almighty.
Yes, sir. Sorry I couldn't get through to you earlier on, but I know that you said you want to big up my brethren, Deemer. So you know him.
Yeah,
You said you
man.
you remember before, innit?
Yeah. At the West Indian Cultural Center.
See,
Oh yeah.
Brother David, you remember Carlton?
Yes, yes, I do.
he said he'd help him, yeah?
Yeah, respect
Yeah.
and honor.
I'm very quiet.
Yeah, man. I
Carlton, sorry, Carlton, can you talk a little bit louder?
Yeah, I'm saying that I did the therapy and it helped me a lot. Yeah. You know, as you could see, Brother Doug, as I was explaining, you know, to how I look nowadays is different from those times, you know. So I keep trying this thing, and it's working.
Right.
Yeah, and I just want to big up Brother David because I love his program and the way he's trying to, you know, elevate the black community, because I know that he deals with everyone still, but as a black person, you know, putting out all this effort, and yourself to Brother Dougie, I want to say big up, you know.
Every time, man.
The Almighty bless and keep you, both of you, you know.
Well,
Thanks again for that.
Yeah, man. Give thanks. Give
But I
thanks.
lost the book, you know.
you lost my book.
And I don't even know. Yeah. My bag was taken. I went on the bus, the C11, and I didn't get it back at all, you know. So the
Well,
book was in that bag.
send me an email and I'll see if I can get you another one.
All right, my brother. Bless you.
But he will be on the 15th at St. Anne's Library.
On the 15th.
Yeah, you know St. Anne's Library on St. Anne's Road?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be there from 4 to 8.
Okay.
See?
Yeah, okay, my brother.
All right, then. So listen,
I can
man.
attend.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's a free event, so
Brother, you think
go on.
I thought you would get back in touch with me as you said you would, you know.
Yes, I've just been all over the place a little bit. So what I'll do, weekend, we'll give you a song, see?
Yes, my brother.
All right, then. Give thanks.
Yeah, blessed love, yeah. Let's
Bless.
give thanks to Brother David. And this tonight's program was really, 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 really interesting, man. I learned so much, and big up to the item, and Almighty God be with the item.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Rastafari.
Rastafari. Give thanks.
Blessed love.
Bless.
Greetings in the name of
Okay,
the
then.
Most High. Selassie is King of Kings and
So that
Lord
was
of
our
Lords.
beautiful brother Carlton just make a
Selassie is
contribution.
King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Selassie is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. I rebuke all negativity. I rebuke all animosity. I rebuke all of the envy. And just shine his light on me. Say, I rebuke all of the hatred. And I rebuke all of the greed. I rebuke all negativity. And just shine his light on me. Just call me your friend. I'm a camel in the desert. I'm a lion in the field. I'm of the tribe of Judah. I'm a Nazarite for thee. I'm a peacemaker. I'm of justly character. I'm like as a dove, come to unite all with love. I'm a precious stone. I'm a precious gem. You can call me Jacint. You can call me your friend.
Right, so now I've been employed as an advertiser here. So I have to basically announce the Find Your Voice event, which is going to be on the 15th of July at St Anne's Library in Tottenham from 4 to 8 p.m. and that's Sunday 15th of July. So I think I'll be there, and I think, what was the guy's name, Lyndon? Yeah, and a few other people I think I've spoken to over the last few days. So, so yes, again, it's the Find Your Voice event on the 15th of July from 4 to 8 at St Anne's Library in Tottenham.
Okay, and it's a free event, and it's on Sisbury Road, and it's time from 4 to 8. That's Sunday, the 15th of July. We're talking about diabetes, prostate cancer, also talking about education. We heard from Julia earlier on. And for more information, please contact me on 0788 240 3871. So I want to bring this segment to a close because we can go on and on and on. We have to use our social discretion, and we're going to bring this segment to a close. So again, Dave, you want to say your Dave, give your email address and your YouTube account, please.
Okay, my YouTube channel is dmurphy25, and my website is www.allegedlydave.com. And also I've got a book out called The Human Body Owner's Workshop Manual, and it's available from lulu.com, that's lulu.com, or you can get it from Amazon, but don't get it from Amazon because it's evil.
Okay, so again, I want to give thanks.
All negativity, I rebuke all animosity. I rebuke all of the envy, and just shine his light on me. Say, I rebuke all of the hatred. I rebuke all of the greed. Say, I rebuke all negativity, and just shine his light on me. Yeah, I'm a Nazarite for thee. I'm a Nazarite for thee. I'm a Nazarite for thee.